Welcome back to another episode of Walk Through a Deck with me, Kev, at Word with Twist Tarot. Today we're going to do a walkthrough of this deck called the Visconti Tarot, and it's made in Italy, and it comes in a really beautiful box. You can see the gold gilding on the box. What a beautiful keepsake. It's made by Lo Scarab in Italy, and the price of the deck was $25.95. And so there is the box. Pretty nice quality. It's a nice matte finish to it. It was nice. Let's see. Okay. So there's I like this box actually. It's the kind that's not if you look at it in there, doesn't have a little lip on the bottom, so it's easy to drop the cards in when you're done. So it's a nice little keepsake box. This one I prefer. The other boxes where it had a little lip inside where it folds into it. I don't like those so much. But this folds into itself. So it's actually pretty nice. So again, there is a box one more time. Now we're going to get to the cards. So the cards, oh nice. Easy to open. That I really like. I hate when the cards are hard to open. You end up almost damaging them, you know? All right. Okay. There's the back of the cards. And the quality actually is pretty nice. So they have some extra cards here. They have a a tarot published in the same series. So they list a bunch of different decks you may be interested in if you like this one here. So that's pretty cool. Never saw that before. Celtic tarot, Egyptian tarot. Okay. That's the back of the card. So it's like a kind of semi-gloss a little bit. This side looks more like a matte. Is there any more extra cards in this deck? Let's see. Okay, so then they have just this one card as a cover. So I would keep these cards as a cover because the quality, it feels like a business card, kind of like, but again, it's not bad. But just to be safe, to protect the cards. But I love the gold in these things, the gold gilding. The booklet, let's look at that real quick. Has a spread here to do. That's pretty cool. It's interesting layout, that's for sure. Gives you the different cards with their meanings. Pretty basic. And I think this is the spread here. Yeah, it's called the esoteric interpretation. This looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll do it this time, but we'll do it in one of the readings. So with the deck, I'm going to just go ahead and run through them one by one in the order in which they come. So let me cards here. I'm gonna come in a little bit tighter to really show these cards off. They are absolutely gorgeous. So then here we go. We have the first card is the one or the Ace of Cups. You can see the gold in that card is absolutely beautiful. So that's the one. Oh wow, a more love. That's the Two of Cups. These are really pretty. And then they have some writing on the side too. Just the different languages. Okay, that's pretty cool. You can see that. The gold in those cards. Three of Cups working together. The two, the decisions. So that what they say for a three is that the one sees the two, and it's the one that brings the balance to the two, and they're balanced on top of each other. That's your creativity, your teamwork, your communication. The four, these are absolutely beautiful cards. I love it too. Reminds me of the Marseille decks. Five, six, seven. You know what I like about the seven? The assessment, right? When you look at the card, so you're coming from the six to the seven, you see how these are on two lines, decisions, which bring that harmony and that peace. The three, the clarity, the communication, the creativity that surrounds it. And this is emotions. It's an emotion card. Then you move to the seven. In the seven, you see the six as the foundation. So the harmony then sparks or bursts a new possibility or a potential, and that's the one. So that's why when you see this card, at least to me, with this deck from seeing it the first time, it's really about assessing the harmony that you had in order to move forward to the eight, which is the engine that keeps on going, which is here. So now you have the harmony, again, the six, with a decision to be made, is how you move forward to the next level. And then the nine In the tarot deck, the Rider Waite deck, this would be the gentleman with the arms crossed, with the blanket, or the not the blanket, but the drapes in back, with the cups up on top, which is attainment. But this here, you can see too, you collected them all, so it's attainment as well. But now you have to give back, which is your 10. So again, you have all 9 in play, with the one possibility ready to go back to the one. So you're ready to take that sideways cup and put it back in to the mix of things. Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful page card. Oh my God. You see that? Isn't that just absolutely brilliant? Holy cow. The detail, look at the detail on this card. Can you see that? It's absolutely just brilliant. Wow. I had no idea how beautiful these were. The knight is a lady. Love that. Or is that a boy? No, it's not a lady. It's a boy, a young man, or a young lady. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely gorgeous. It's the same person. It's like they graduate, they move up in the ranks. Then you have the queen, which is here. I'm not shaking this too much. You notice the red shoe and the green hands. So think about that, right? Blue is emotions. Queen of Cups is all about the mastery of those emotions. Well, the king's a master, but she's on the same par. Her hands are in the earth, so she has control of the earthly domain, and her red foot is her passion on her feet, but not too much. She's not shown too much. She's pretty much collected and calm and can assess things. Where the king here, beautiful card too, he has the red legs. He's ready to go. He wants to go. And there's no green, no earth. You see that? So he's more emotional with the blue showing through. Okay. Now we're on the Pentacles. This is the Ace of Pentacles. Love the artwork on these decks. The 2, that's a nice 2. 3, 4, and then 5 of Pentacles. 6. See the blues, the colors are really beautiful. It's very grounded in the earth. You have the motions, a little bit of pink, which is humanity, with the green, which is the earth itself. Nicely rendered. 7, 8, 9. I'm moving these cards because if I just lay them flat, you really can't pick up on the beauty of them. So I want you to be able to see the gold in these cards. The 10. I'm looking forward to the majors actually. And we're back to the page. It's just gorgeous. That is a woman. That's the knight. That's a beautiful queen. The queen here looks more mature than the other queen of cups. And the king. He looks younger in the rendering. Now we're on the wands. The ace of wands. 2, 3, 4. If you want to buy these decks, it's Llewellyn is where you can pick them up at. That's where I usually get them from, is Llewellyn. Sometimes Amazon, but mostly Llewellyn on these decks here. 5, 6. Can you feel the difference there? So I know it may not be used to this type of deck, but all right. See the 5, and you have the 6. You feel how this one feels a little bit constrained, where the ribbon is tying it together. So you feel this restriction in this card. So it's a little bit of a struggle, but also kind of free. So, but yet the ribbon's holding you back from really bursting forward. But here on the 6, it's more balanced and you don't have anything blocking you, holding you back. You have a little bit more harmony in this card and it's opened up. You see that? And you go to the 7. So now again, you have that 1 in the center. So the 6 is that harmony. It's just 2 sets of 3, the threes. Okay, so that's the communication, creativity is at peace, is harmonized. And so now you have to assess your next step. You have the 1 1 coming down the middle there. Remember, this is your fire energy. And so what I find interesting with these cards is the blue, which is the emotion aspect of that as well at play. And you have the red around the actual ends of the batons with the two little red flowers. Okay. And then the 8 is the continuation. So the from after you think about what you want to do in the 7, you go to the 8, and the 8 has 2 sets of 4s. So it's that foundation that you've built prior that now allows you to really have the ability to move forward, not let things distract you or get in your way. You're focused. Then you go to the 9, and you're feeling a little bit, you see how it feels kind of a little bit um, all encompassing, or feels heavy, a little bit heavy. And the 10 in the Rider Waite deck is all around not letting other people help you out, controlling too much, where you feel exhausted. Look at that 10. You can feel the exhaustion in that card. So when you look at the 10 of Wands in the Rider Waite deck, let's compare them real quick. So you see here with this card, I said that twice. The 10, you see how it's kind of overburdened. You're looking down, you're not looking ahead of you. You're carrying all your wands in your hands and your arms, and your back is burdened. So you feel really burdened, and you can't even see that your home is back here, right? And here you feel that same type of heaviness. And you can see how it has the blue in each of these cards. So the blue is the emotion. It's a clear sky, but you're burnt out. You don't have a lot of clarity here. The blue's there, but it's heavy. It's a very heavy card. You have the brown, which grounds you back to the earth, brown, and then the green, the trees. Trees is stability. So it's surrounded by stability, but it's heavy. It's burdened. It's heavy. It's wearing you down. That's the 10. Now we're going to go into the page. Oops, leave it there on the ground, on the table. That's very pretty as well. Then we have the knight. Oh, I love that knight. You can feel the horse just wanting to gallop off the card. You can feel the energy in that. Okay. And the queen, it looks mature in this picture as well. Scepter, is that a wand too she's holding? She's holding something there, right there. It's like is it a wand? It's something. And she's holding her wand there. And then we have the king. This king looks again young. The black at the bottom, subconscious. He sits on a throne. Subconscious at play. Beautiful. And last, we have the swords for the minor arcanas. That is a really pretty sword. What's interesting is the sword is pointed down, not up. So remember, when it's pointed down, it's not in a defense position. It's more in a position of like there's no fight. Up is like new, is like something new. You're ready to go into battle. This is the other direction. It's almost like you have to wield the idea. So an idea will pop into your mind, but if you don't pick that sword up and flip it, holding it straight up, right? So the sword's like this, King Arthur, right? You grab it, you flip it around. Now you're ready to do something with it. So the idea is in your mind, but do you accept it? I think that's what I was trying to tell you here. The 2. I'm going to do an article on this, on swords and the meaning of them on my Substack page, wordofthetwist.substack.com. I'm going to go into details on these swords because they mean something, the different positions that they're in. And it's quite fascinating. I also just recently also created a little guidebook of numerology if you're interested in that. I go over all the numbers. So that's the 2. Now you see where one sword's pointed straight up. Now we're getting into contention. 4. If you don't know what the cards mean, that's okay. Just realize that the swords are mind, intellect, right? And then start looking at the colors. I have a guidebook on that too if you're interested. And you're seeing blue. So blue is emotion. Swords are intellect. So it's the mind at play with the emotions. The green is earth element. It ties you back down to the earth. And then you have brown as well. So you have all these different things coming together with a little bit of red too, which is that fire in here also. I'm seeing like water and fire. Okay. 4. Wait, which one is this? What's the 4? I think I skipped one. I did. Yep, the 3 and the 4. Okay. Now we're on the 5. Again, it feels kind of busy. You feel a little bit constrained, constricted. So you still have contention going on. And you notice up until this card, they all have the band. So the band's holding your mind back. Oh, they're out of order. So what's the 4 about? Remember in the let me show you. This is actually kind of interesting. Okay, so move this up a little bit more. Bear with me for 1 sec. I want to show you something. Then you have the 1. So you have the 1, right? And you notice how they all have the band around them, and most of the time the swords are pointed down. Okay, but when you compare them to the Rider Waite deck, what do we see? So you have the ace, right? So you notice with the Rider Waite, it's different energy, but it's the same. So this is holding it's the divine hand giving you the idea. Here, the sword's sitting there, you get to pick it up and wield it, right? You got to make it happen both ways, but it's a different interpretation how you look at the card. Then from there, we go to the 2. Decision being made, right? Blindfolded. The ribbon, blindfolded. It's restricted. They're pointed down, they're pointing up. Ready to strike, not ready to strike. Point is, there's nothing here. There's no battle per se, but it's defeat. The swords are down, pointing across. Swords are up, ready to go. But the blindfold comes off to make the decision. This one, you have to take the banner off to do your decision. It's very interesting the way these cards are interplaying with each other. Then you have the 3, same vibe, but you have one sword pointing up. And then the 4, rest. And then the 5. You feel like contention in this card. A little bit of contention. You feel constricted. Got one over on you. You gotta get rid of that to untangle your weapons to move forward. Okay, that's the 5. So that was kind of interesting. You look at the cards. Try to look at the cards in order. Lay them out in order and look at them, and you'll see them in a different light. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the 6. Now you see how it's opened up again. They're easier to get to. That's your mind. It's easier to grab that information and do something with it. It's no longer restricted. That's the 6. You see the gold on there. 7 feels a little bit constricted again. And they're all very much intertwined. You want to pull one out to free it, but you can't. They're locked. The 8. What I noticed too is interesting is these handles, they're all connected. They're not separated. It's almost like one piece. The 9, the only one that's available is that one. But it's actually at the very bottom. It wants to strike, but you can't get to it. It's locked in. Talk about anxiety. You're in a fight or something. You can't get to your sword. It's encased. And the 10, they're all locked. You can't get to any of them. Can you imagine the stress that would bring you? There's just no way out. You feel completely defeated. That's the mind. Then we have, that's a really nice looking page. That's the page. in armor, always ready for battle. The knight, that's a really pretty card. Full battle gear. The queen, these are really nicely done. The king, I'm afraid to shuffle them, they're so pretty, you know. The king, young, he wants us to get up and go. He's not going to wait for anybody. Shield in hand. Okay, so that is the minors. Now we're going to go look at the major arcana. So here you have a fool. He has a wand over his shirt as well. His hair is all sticking with feathers in it. Completely nut job. That's the point of it, right? The magician. Really nice. The empress. That's interesting. More of a spiritual leader kind of a card. Oh no, that's not the empress. That is the high priestess. That makes a lot of sense. What am I thinking? What time is it? It's about 2 a.m. folks, Montana time. It's a late video for me, but I wanted to get through this because I gotta see this deck. Okay, the high priestess. There is my empress, and she's carrying the same symbol. I have a feeling that the emperor is going to be holding. You will see this also in some other type of decks where the symbols are carried throughout. Always keep an eye on that. Yeah, he's in his crown. It's in his crown. That's interesting. It's a very deep spiritual theme to these cards. The high priest, not the high priest. See, I mean, it's late. This is the Hierophant or Papa. El Papa. Okay. Then we have the Lover's card. That's interesting. Blindfolded the angel. That's a trip. And they're holding hands or touching. Now, what's interesting is that in the Wider Weight deck, she looks at the angel, he looks at her. In this rendition, he looks at the angel, she looks at him. And they're holding hands. So that's an interesting twist. The Chariot, you can feel the movement, and she doesn't need to use the reins because she can use her will to move it forward. 8, okay, that's Justice. Justice, that's a nice Justice card. The Hermit. This is the Wheel. Strength in this card. I wonder what that is. The Hangman. Death. That's an interesting death card. Temperance. I don't see the water though. There's no water pouring. Interesting. There's the devil here. And the tower. That's probably one of the better renditions of tower I've seen. I really like that. The star. The moon. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting moon card. The sun. That's really interesting too. These are nice renditions. Judgment. And what's interesting is that everything means something. And I have to do a little bit of research to really dive into these cards, but everything means something. The color, the people, the angel, everything means something. The sword tilted off to the side a little bit. Everything means something. And then lastly, the world. Interesting card. So that is a walkthrough of the Visconti Tarots. Conti, yeah, Visconti Tarot. Now, how did this deck shuffle? I don't know. Let's find out. It's actually pretty nice that way. How about this way here? Be a little careful. Yeah, the shuffle really nice. Should we do a card of the day? I'm gonna pull the card of the day, and then what you're gonna do is in the description below or in the comments. What do you think of it? What's your meaning? How do you interpret this message of the day card that we're gonna pull right now? One more time. Okay, let's cut it. All right, so here we go. The message of the day. I want you to give me an answer on this one in the comments below. Is what? That's interesting. It's the Five of Wands. What's your take on the Five of Wands? Drop it below. Anyway, if you enjoyed this little deck walkthrough, please give it a like and share it with your friends because it's the only way that this little walkthrough will be seen by others. And if it's your first time here, I probably should have said earlier, thank you for joining me. And for all my subscribers, thank you too, because without you, this channel would not exist. And until next time, I want to see each of you in the next video. All right. Bye, everyone.